Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here with my review for The Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 12, The Outpost. This is technically a 420 review, but my edible hasn't kicked in. We'll see what happens going throughout this. Also, no idea when you guys will ever end up seeing this because my laptop has not been turning on tonight. It's like the premiere date of the episode as I'm doing the review. I have no idea what's going to happen. So who knows when you're seeing this, but thanks for checking it out. That's also, I was like, I'm in this mental state. I was like, I just put a shirt on. It wasn't like pick a Star Wars shirt. Yeah, at least I got the hat. But I was like, this is my mental state right now because I'm like, I kind of need that laptop and a lot of stuff on the laptop. I can take the hard drive, but still need a laptop. Anyway, getting into the episode, it was amazing. It was another great episode. And I'm like, okay. I don't know if they were kind of waiting or they're like, yeah, let's have some stuff here and there. Obviously there were episodes where, it was two good episodes in a row, like when their team was on the other planet. And then it was like the Mandalorian came out and they were like, let's make sure we just do straight bangers. Like like Bad Batch, like animation side, gold. Live action side, gold. I don't know if it was a Mandalorian thing or what, but I was like, I don't hate it because these are two great episodes in a row. I loved both of these. I still think I like the last one a bit more just because of how excited it made me, the horror elements, all this stuff about that, and my theory time on that. But this is another great episode, and I love the fact that the whole episode was really good. It was just Crosshair doing his thing. It's like, all right, what's gonna happen? We've seen him go on these journeys. We saw him interact with Cody. Cody ends up taking off after that. He's had all these moments. Obviously the whole point of his thing was like, we gotta save our brother, and it's like, I wasn't chipped. I haven't been chipped this whole time. So he's had an interesting story, and we've kind of seen the bits and pieces of him kind of making his way through. And this season, man, it's really touched on some amazing stuff when it comes to the clones and the stormtroopers, and seeing how the different characters feel, like characters that are clones trying to escape. Obviously you have Rex and the team who they've been out on the outs for quite a while, but they're willing to help other clones. You have Cody, you have Crosshair, and he's all in, and he's been all in the whole time, and it's like he's been able to make the choice that a lot of people who were still chipped, it took them a minute to make that choice because they were chipped, and he was just making the choice, and this was the one that kind of finally got him, I should say. And it was like, wow, he finally broke, and was like, God, these guys suck. The Empire is bad. Like it finally hit and was like, we're doing all this. We're risking our lives to get armor for the new guys. And that's it. And it was just like, this is crazy. The lieutenant is like, whatever. And then he kills the guy. And I was glad he did it because I was just like, come on, like, please kill this dude. But it was really well done. I loved how they did this episode. And then the whole thing, my main point when I started with all that, this was seemingly a solitary episode. It was just like, all right, here's another Crosshair thing where he's on the other side. And then by the end of the episode, because he gets captured, he passes out, he wakes up with the woman from the last episode. And at first I thought they were about to re-chip him, but I thought it was the machine that was at the end of Clone Wars, which probably isn't the chipping thing. It could take the chips out, and I think it was just because it was more of an X-ray thing. But at first that's what I thought. And then I was like, oh no, he's just on like one of the medical tables. But they're tying him into something involving the main storyline now, because they showed her, and obviously she came in the last episode, and I was like, all right, I thought it was just another great episode where he was on the outskirts, but then it's a great episode right as he's about to turn, he's reintroduced with the clones again, because we thought, well, at least I'm sure I wasn't the only person, but in the episode where they went to Coruscant, it was like, it's a sniper, like, is it gonna be him, is it not gonna be him? And then ultimately it wasn't, and now he's back into the main story with the rest of the team. However that ends up playing out, we'll see. Maybe they will chip him. I don't think they will, but obviously we just have to kind of wait and see how that kind of plays out. At first, when I thought they were going to chip him, I was like, wow, they consider him such an asset. Somebody somewhere thinks he's an asset, but that wasn't the case. It kind of, the whole theme of the episode was like, clones, meh. And it's fun watching that as well. Like I said, the lieutenant being like, he just hates clones. He's like, I don't like used goods and stuff like that. And it's so weird to me where I'm like, as soldiers, the new Imperial soldiers, I mean, lieutenants and all that stuff, it's weird to me how they have such odd disdain for the clones. And I don't know if it has something to transition from the Clone Wars. Like maybe a lot of these people hate the clones because technically they lost a bunch of stuff during the war, but it's like, I don't know, like it could easily happen, but I'm just like, you're working for the same dude. I mean, they wouldn't technically know that, but it's like the Chancellor, becoming the Emperor and stuff, and it's just weird. I'm like, what is it that makes them hate clones when it's just like, if anything, it's just free soldiers. I know that they're the people at the top, like they referenced it, I think in season 1, where it was like, our main thing is like, we want people because they choose to be here. Clones can, of course, have their issues and then suddenly decide to defect. people who are here are just straight up here, and they'll probably do extra stuff, that we really want them to do without questioning it, because they don't have to be like, oh, we've gone through battle after battle, and then suddenly you got to kill an innocent village of people, which was kind of an example in the last season. And then the actual humans who were there are like, all right, sure, boom, boom, boom. Like, you wanted this here, that's what that's what we're doing. So I get the people at the top, and I guess technically the lieutenant is kind of up there, but I'm just like, they all seem to have, the few bits and pieces we've seen, it's like they have so little care, but like also a bit of disdain for the clones. And it's like, that seems so odd to me. It's like, just use the clones up, let them die before you bring in humans. Like, it just seems to be like an interesting thing where they hate them so much. I'm like, that doesn't seem very warranted when you think about it, at least on the lower levels. But aside from that, amazing episode. And I love the fact that they tied it into the main story, going forward. I think, so this is 12. I still think we have like at least close to 20 episodes. I'm not 100% sure. I really don't remember. But the way they handled it, I thought was very well done. So I like what we got in this actual episode. And then who knows what they're going to do next. I mean, I don't know if they would chip him again, consider him like that big of an asset. It's just weird. I'm just like, I don't know where they take this, because if they chip him, then it goes into the element of he's 100% against the team again. But I feel like they wouldn't do that because it would be almost too obvious. I mean, like, they kind of did that in the last season. He did actually fight against them and stuff. So I'm like, I just don't see that happening again, where they kind of reboot all of that stuff and then he gets chipped, and then it's like, oh, we basically do a mind wipe, and now he just hates them. And it's like, man, it just feels weird. It's like that. It doesn't seem like it would be exciting to do something like that. It just seems like it would just be doing exactly what they did before. So I'm excited to see where they go with it, because I'm hopeful that we won't get a rehash. I'm hoping we see some very interesting stuff, especially considering he's a clone. A theory that I heard is that the woman that shows up at the end of this episode, some people have mentioned they think that she's a clone, and technically Omega was never said to be like the only female clone. We still don't know who she's from, if part of her is like a blend, like an actual child, if part from Boba Fett, part from or Jango Fett, and then from someone else. That's what I always assumed, but then it was like, I don't know why I assumed that. I think I just thought that because it was kind of the most logical thing. Like, holy crap, Boba Fett basically has a sister, but she could just be totally different and like just an experiment based on someone entirely different. And they already had a clone. I don't think that this woman is a clone. Personally, it does sound a bit like the actress who does Omega. But I just don't think it's a clone. I think it just happens to be a woman that does kind of sound like her, but I don't think it's a clone, because that almost takes away from Omega's thing where it's like she's the only clone. But then at the same time, if they revealed that she's been cloned once before, it would still be pretty interesting, where it's like, okay, well, it still brings up the question, like, he did it before, why do it again? And also still, who is this woman? So it could bring up some other questions, but I don't think she's a clone. I think she's just another person that's involved. There's obviously personal opinion. We'd love to know your thoughts on that one, but I was like, all right, let's see where this goes. Now that he's officially folded back into the main story, he will in some way come up against the team, and maybe he'll decide to rejoin them. Like, he finally had his breaking point. If he found them again, and they gave him the chance in the season finale, they gave him like quite a few chances, and he was like, nah. Maybe they'll give him another one. It's slightly possible. Like, at this point, they may have kind of just officially let that go, but I think they give him another shot. And at this point, it's like, all right, yeah, like let's do this. So by the time they end it, Echo's gone, but now you have the original team back, and it's like, well, it's a cool way to do it. Plus you have Omega, and the complicated relationship of her not knowing him as long. Even she was trying to give him a shot, like, I kind of want to get to know you, like, hey, but it is what it is. So we'll see what happens with that, but there's no way they don't interact again this season. So I'm very curious how that's going to play out, as far as how much they're going to end up fighting. If there is a reconciliation, how does that end up playing out, for the future of the series? So there's a lot of questions there, and still this weird mystery of whatever this new project is. I thought it had something initially when they mentioned like, oh, there's some secret stuff. I actually thought it was going to tie into the last episode, and I thought what they were going to find out was it was going to be like some of the plating from the creature, and then it just turned out to be armor, and I was like, oh, it's literally just stormtrooper armor. And then the whole episode shifted, and I was like, dang, this is more of an episode about them just feeling like crap, like, wow, like, Crosshair finally getting it, like, he sent us out here for armor, like, that's crazy. So turned out it had a very different purpose, but I thought it was going to tie into the last episode from that moment, when they first were like, it's secret cargo and stuff, and then it was like, no, it's not like crazy theory cargo, it's just effed up. And it's like, yeah, we sent you out here to die for some armor for other people. This dude was like, we need to back up a long time ago. We need to fix these systems a long time ago. It was like, you guys ignoring me all the time is why this stuff keeps happening. I'm losing brothers and you guys are freaking out about, you know, the super secret cargo and stuff. Just send some help out. Because like all these people died over armor for nothing, because they easily could have been okay had they just listened to his request. So it's just like so many different things where, you know, obviously the lieutenant was the perfect example of it too, coming in like, use goods, I don't give a crap, you know, seeing all the helmets is just like, whatever, like, you're not taking my men and leaving this place defenseless, you two go, and that's it. And then he doesn't care when he's, you know, dying in front of him. It's like, all right, well, there you go. And it's like, you know, that's crazy. And he's a douchebag, and it's the epitome of just like the twat-like nature of the Empire. So it was a great ending, of course. You know, it sucked that the guy died, but Crosshair was like, all right, you know, he calls him out, dude turns around, and boom, he just hits him. And I was like, this was good. We'll see what happens though. So enjoyed the episode for sure. Was very happy to see that after what was already a great episode, they officially tie it in with the main story. So that made it just, it was a great end cap, because it's like, oh sweet, I thought it was just another cool solo episode, and then it ties right in at the end, like, nope, things are about to come back together. So that made me really happy. It was already great, and then it was like perfect ending. So absolutely loved it. We'd love to know your thoughts on it, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, least favorite parts about it, and of course all theories, you know, from the last episode, especially with, you know, Crosshair now being with those people captured, or however it turns out. We'd love to know your theories on all of that stuff. Like, where is it headed? What are they going to do with him? Are they going to chip him again? Kind of force him into, you know, basically going back to Order 66, you know, factory reset, who knows? Keep the skills, you know, wipe the memories. We'd love to know your theories on that. I don't think they'll do that, just because I feel like he's more of an asset knowing everything that he knows about them. So I think they would keep him on. It just makes a lot more sense to kind of add him on and be like, all right, we're going to send you after them again, but he's going to try to find a way this time to actually join them when he gets the opportunity. So that's kind of my big theory and how things are going to play out. But like I said, we'd love to know what you guys think and theories going forward. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.
You hungry? I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. You hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry. Like I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Like I'm Shaggy. Man, I'm hungry. Man, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Yeah, man. You hungry? Yeah.